It's Brak time. That's right. I'm doing the Brak Show. So, roughly almost 3 months now. Well, man, I did Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and I like season one. Now, admittedly, I have watched a couple more random episodes. None from season two, which I still have on the poll, by the way, in case you guys want to vote for it. But yeah, Aqua Teen Hunger Force season two, not season two, but season one. I reviewed it. I liked it. But in that video, during a brief section, I think towards the beginning, in the episode Escape from Leprechaunopolis, I still can't say that. Nah. I talked about a show called The Brak Show, and specifically one of the leprechauns sounded like Brak. From there, I said, was The Brak Show good? I, of course, got no comments talking about it. Barely anyone comments on my videos other than myself. It's getting kind of desperate at this point, but I've taken it upon on my own hands to just watch the Brak Show. It's all on Max, which is also how you watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force. So what's the harm? 9 episodes, Brak Show. Well, I mean, why not? Why not watch it? Especially since season one was... Especially since it only took me a day to watch all 9 11-minute episodes, which makes this one of the easiest shows I've had to watch by far. It's not even funny. Of course, there's the question of if it's good or not, which is obviously what I'm going to be tackling today. Not much else I really have to add. Let's dig in. I guarantee this will be one of my shorter vids. Treat this more like a fun little extra. Okay, if you're asking what all that was my parents doing something. I of course now want you guys to hear that. These are lives. I cannot edit them. I tried editing back a look of my very early videos, and you saw how much I am not proud of those ones. So yeah, sorry about that. I hope my funny effects made that better. Or of course you could just skip it. Brak Show. Episode 1, Goldfish. Brak tries and fails to take care of a goldfish. He ends up getting haunted by the goldfish. Okay, so from the limited amount I've heard from the Brak Show before watching this season, I heard that, at least at the start, it was a parody of old sitcoms, and yeah, you can see that right from this episode. What's the rating, though? Is it a good episode? It's mid. 3 out of 5. Well, okay, I shouldn't say mid. It's actually on the higher end of a 3, almost considered a 4. I already don't have a ton to say, but it's only like 9 episodes, so I feel like I kind of need to say more to make up for the shorter length. Let's see. An explosion happening, and Brak's dad knowing that his friend Brak's best friend Zorak is around is funny. Oh yeah, since this is a more obscure one, I guess I can actually talk about the general premise. From the 9 episode season, that is season 1, Brak Show is just a parody of old sitcoms, pretty much. You have Brak, an energetic kid who's a weird lion tiger thing. You can see him on the cover, or at least his head. It's kind of weird. You got his mantis friend Zorak, who's evil. Zorak's probably one of my favorite characters, if not my main favorite, because I like him for the same reasons I love characters like Eric Cartman or Master Shake, and that he's just like the worst person. It is funny. Then you have Brak's parents. His dad is kind of a jerk, but is mostly just kind of this weirdo who's decently funny. And the mom, who is basic nice mom. Oh yeah, and Thundercleese, who's just their robot neighbor that they have for some reason. Not the best cast of characters, admittedly. I do think Zorak is the best one, with Brak being another pretty good main character. Brak's dad getting some good jokes, but Brak's mom. Actually, I guess more all of them except for Thundercleese, who's just honestly kind of boring. The rest of them are pretty decent. And this episode shows them off okay enough. Not bad, decently watchable, but I can't really say there were a ton of good jokes. Brak saying, "But I love my arms. That's where my hands live." That was funny. Also, Brak's random eulogy was funny to me. What with the fish. Also, Brak like snoring, but this time talking about how much he loves sleeping, especially after that really bad tragedy of the goldfish. That was funny. So there's certain funny parts, but as a whole, that's just watchable enough. 2. Time Machine. That's right. We're going back in time to the first Thanksgiving to get turkeys off the menu. That's right. We're going back in. Okay, I'm not going to do that whole bit. I mean, I'm very nostalgic for Freebirds because I've grown up with it, but yeah, it's dumb, and I like it. Speaking of things I like Time Machine. This episode sees Brak and Zorak try and fail to go back in time to do their homework. Don't have much to say, honestly. It's a good episode. Yeah, Brak and Zorak are children, but they look like grown adults. And I'm pretty sure in other media they're in, the original Space Ghost and then also Coast to Coast, I'm pretty confident they are adults. So the fact that for this show, randomly, they just made them, for I guess their spin-off series, they just made them children. But they still look the exact same is actually extremely hilarious to me. Don't have much to say, honestly. A perfectly solid episode. Kind of reminds me of the Family Guy episode Back to the Pilot a little bit. More so, I mean, the ending of that episode when Brian and Stewie met the versions of themselves. I kind of felt that a little bit with Brak and Zorak meeting their past selves. Obviously, that episode's way better, but this is still a good episode, and is in general just a funny one to watch. 3. War Next Door. Rhymed. Zorak gets hurt and a monster in his throat leaves his body, which gives him an amazing voice. With a plot description like that, you have to know this is the same network that greenlit Aqua Teen Hunger Force. In general, the show does have an Aqua Teen vibe. If it was less slow paced and more like a sitcom-y. Oh man, it is this episode especially. It felt so Aqua Teen. I felt like I was watching an Aqua Teen episode, but a good one. This is a 4 out of 5. Should have mentioned this last time, but yeah, Aqua Teen had to wait till episode 4 to get its first good episode. All Brak Show needed was wait till episode 2, and already episode 1 was close, which shows that Brak Show was, I think, actually didn't take a bit as long to get good, which is something. I didn't know I stuttered there, but yeah. A good episode. Zorak singing all this horrible stuff he wanted to do to the audience was funny. Don't have much to say. Admittedly, Zorak believing the like monster in his throat when he said that they were broke and all that was a little dumb. Like, I thought Zorak was supposed to be smart. Why would he buy all that? But it doesn't matter too much because, I mean, he's still a kid. I think we never see them at school, but it's pretty much stated that they do go to school and all that. So I don't know. Maybe in season 2 or 3 or the one episode season 4, we see them go to school. But for now, I don't know, Chief. Still, I know most of this is going to be complaining, so I'll talk about some of the favorite moments I wrote down for this episode. Zorak's fantasy was funny because he's just so evil. Brak's dad being instantly jealous that Brak's mom is like complimenting the throat monster was funny. Brak saying, "And you have a beautiful man voice," to Zorak was so fruity. You gotta love it. Also, you have that guy who looks like Brak who walks through. And he shows up in a few more episodes. This is his first one. You want to know his whole running bit? He walks. I'm pretty sure it's said he's Brak's brother, but all he does is he walks, And during this, he walks across the room, and while doing so, like one time while he's doing so, he farts. 10 out of 10. Brilliant. Good episode in general. I like it. 4, Hippo. Zorak destroys Brak's plush lobster named Hippo. Brak's not the brightest bulb in the shed. That should have been I should have told you that already, but yeah, he is dumb. After failing to find Hippo, he gets a new plush that Zorak is unable to destroy. I don't know. This one's a 3 out of 5. Don't have a lot to say. Just kind of watchable, kind of like the first episode, but not really much to it that I really especially liked. For being 11 minutes, this one kind of felt like it was kind of going all over the place. Like, I felt like there wasn't really a direct story, which again, it kind of gave me Aqua Teen vibes, but even Aqua Teen is a bit more structured than this. It's not even like it's not like it's not like middle season Family Guy bad, but it's still a little weak. I don't know why I'm referencing Family. This is the second. If I had a nickel for every time I referenced Family Guy in this video, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't much, but it's weird that it happened twice, right? Anyway, but yeah, unlike low seasons, I don't think it was as bad, but still, because none of the stuff it jumped around to was extremely funny. I think it picked up a little towards the end when Zorak tried to destroy Brak's new plush, but he was not able to. It was a little funny. No, definitely not bad, but still just a fine episode. Brak's mom threatening Zorak was funny, especially since we didn't even get to hear what she was going to do to him. Also, Brak said at the end saying they should all go watch the TV show except him was funny. Was a good joke as well. This is a fine episode. Again, nothing horrible. 5. Bok Bakok! Brak steals the school mascot, who is a chicken, by the way, hence why the episode's called that. Zorak encourages it, but doesn't take responsibility, which is one of the best parts. Zorak talks Brak into stealing the school mascot, and then when Brak does it, Zorak's like, you're in trouble. It's so awful. I find it funny, though. Honestly, really good. 4 out of 5. Like, episodes 2 and 3 I already liked, but this one felt like a really good one. Like, a step above, though, is if Revenge of the Mooninites was the first pretty good Aqua Teen episode, this is the first pretty good Brak Show episode. Brak's dad getting upset that taxpayer dollars went to this Godzilla-looking monster, if it was like a dollar store version. I should be saying penny store version more likely. We also have Zorak wanting him and Brak to drink, and Brak being like, Zorak, I don't really think my parents want me doing that. And he's like, that's why we're doing it. Zorak just destroying Thundercleats' lawn. Brak saying, I like you, to Zorak when Zorak talks about how Thundercleats doesn't like him. Also, you have the Phil the Boogeyman, who's randomly in Brak's room. Also, the chicken being disguised was also just decently funny, and Brak's dad just buying it. Pretty good episode. Honestly, just a really funny one. 6. Mobab. Brak's mom gets kidnapped by an octopus alien called Mobab. 3 out of 5. Not much to say. Honestly, just a there episode. This one kind of just has Brak's parents fighting, which literally every animated couple, every animated married couple, or at least most of them, have to fight. I guess we have to throw Brak's parents into that too. It just felt like a well that so many other adult animated shows before and after it have done, and this episode doesn't really throw much into it. Brak's mom becomes a butterfly by the end of the episode. That is like one of the only interesting things I feel happens. Mobab's a pretty character. When Mobab's like, have you heard of me? Brak's like, oh yeah, I heard of you 1 second ago when you established yourself. Like, he didn't say exactly like that, but that was funny. Also, Zorak trying to bargain with, trying to get Brak and his dad to pay him was funny. There's a few good jokes in here, but most of it was just honestly pretty I was mostly watching this one, not really thinking much. Same thing kind of goes for 7, Expiration Date. Thundercleats' powers get removed, which causes issues when a meteor shows up. Don't have much to say about this one. Thunder Cleese is easily my least favorite of the main cast. Not bad, but he's never really funny. Honestly, I like the idea of Brak and Zorak just having a neighbor who's just a robot, but they don't really do a ton funny with it, which I feel like is the main problem. Still, meh enough episode. Don't have a ton to say, really. Just kind of okay. The best part was probably the opening when Brak's dad was asking Brak's mom and Brak himself about like his opinions on how he looks. That was good. Brak's dad almost went nude. That was something. 8. Psycho. Okay. Oh my god. Cyclohoma. No, I did not make that up. The main cast put on a play to raise $20. Don't have much to say. Good episode. Especially after the last two were just kind of okay. I'm happy to see another good one. I was worried the season was going to go downhill. Zorak apparently has a crush on Brak's mom, which is something. Although knowing Zorak, it's probably not a crush out of like love or care for her, but more so just a way for him to get, like his mantis urges out. I don't know. Also, Brak's dad just demanding to see the women in the show that him and Brak were watching was funny. I don't have a ton to say. This is a perfectly good episode. One thing I should have brought up so far, but I'm kind of dumb, so I didn't, was that this show, almost every episode, Brak sings at least one song per episode. I'm kind of neutral on this aspect of the show. I mean, hey, they beat Phineas and Ferb to the punch with them pretty much doing the exact same thing. If I had nickel for every time I reference Phineas and Ferb in this video, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't much, but it's weird it happened twice, right? Anyway, but yeah. But unlike Phineas and Ferb, a lot of the songs in Brak Show are just Brak, or kind of the same melody, just Brak singing about like the plot, what's going on in the episode. They're so short they don't annoy me, but aren't long enough, but aren't really that great. But this episode, mostly being it, actually is good and helps it stand out. Good episode. And finally, I have barely anything to say about the finale, The Eye. Brak's dad has a staring contest with Brak, then Zorak. It's just a simple staring contest, but I don't care. It's funny. It's a foony. 4 out of 5. I like it. I liked the part when Zorak just threw Brak's mouth away, and Brak tried to spend the whole rest of the episode trying to find it. I liked that. And that's all she wrote. Yeah, I don't have much to say, honestly. In terms of the list, it's only 9 episodes. By one, there were more episodes in the season I liked, which means I did like the season as a whole, even if it wasn't anything too crazy. At the bottom, we have Mobab, Expiration Day, Goldfish, and Hippo. And then the top 5, which were all the 4 out of 5s, The Eye, Cyclohoma, War Next Door, Time Machine, and Bok Bagok is the best episode of the season by far. I really liked that one. Ever since I watched Aqua Teen, at least season 1 of it, the next big Adult Swim show, well, I shouldn't say big because this isn't really a big show, but the next Adult Swim show I wanted to see was Brak Show. And after all these months of finally being able to watch season 1, I'm satisfied. Brak Show season 1 isn't the greatest thing ever, but it's clearly not trying to be. It's a solid sitcom parody. Though I will say, if what I've heard is correct, I believe somewhere down the near future, because season 4 is only 1 episode, so it's really only seasons 2 and 3 that are real seasons left. Not gonna lie, I do think I'm just gonna do season 3 and 4 in one video, because season 4 is only 1 episode. But somewhere down the line, the show is gonna stop being a sitcom parody and more so just embrace the whatever creative weirdness, which again, just from hearing about it, gives me Aqua Teen vibes. But I'm starting to truly love Aqua Teen, so hopefully I'll go on to truly love this too. Brak Show season 1 was good. I liked it decently enough, and I definitely do hope to see more and review more later in this channel's lifespan. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.